they somehow manage to fuck up even harder. We open in the middle of space with Rick, Morty, and Summer. They are all in the ship, and they are going to a place known as Boob World. Boob World will not be the setting for this episode because Rick stumbles upon a moon, and on that moon is a blue ferret, a Gotron ferret. That is what it's referred to in the story. Here the cracks begin. So Rick automatically prefers summer in the cold open. That's understandable. Rick throughout the entirety of season 5 has been shown to prefer Summer over Morty, kind of. For instance, Summer had the cool adventure to get the shell, and Morty had to get the wine in episode 1. And it's because Summer is smarter than Morty. They even have a line about that in the episode. By God, my throat hurts a bit. So, with that known, we begin to have a major problem, a voiceover. Throughout the entire episode, there are voiceovers between Morty and Summer that explain their thought process. This is a major problem. Rick and Morty is not a complex show, but it never just basically states what the characters are thinking or what you're supposed to think. That's the main problem with Pickle Rick, the Susan Sarandon scene. Although it's much more nuanced than that, and it would require its own analysis. But yes, season 5 has been completely unsubtle. Episode 4, as I mentioned earlier, and episode 6, which was just barely good enough to avoid one of these, they all had moments where the characters just said the moral of the story, but then were like, turned it into a joke, like, ha, that's the moral of the story, guys. We're so self-aware. Like, yeah, you're self-aware, but it's fucking lampshading, man. It's exactly what the character of Rick does. Rick and Morty has become Rick. In fact, I actually think that was what the point of Imp Lemon's video essay was about. Now, so Morty, Morty, Summer, and Rick then meet up with Beth and Jerry, and they ask them to do the fucking Gotron ferret, and then Beth declines because if you remember in episode 4, guys, now episode 4 is probably the best episode of Rick and Morty, like, ever. And you see, in this episode, they created a giant incest baby, and they catapulted it into space. If you remember, now keep this important plot point in mind. It's gonna be very relevant, especially since the episode like fucking mentions it like 10 times, and Summer pretty much just says, well, oh my god, we made a giant incest baby. Oh god, you might be a clone. I exist because you guys failed to abort me. We get the family we get, not the one we want. This is a really good line from Summer. However, it isn't earned at all. By God. The family's conflict has always been, well, the family's conflict is still yet to be resolved. They sort of resolved it in the season 3 finale, but it was only partially. This line needed to occur after a major arc in the show, an arc that has not happened yet. If the season 5 finale focuses on family, then this would be perfectly fine. Now, oh, hooey. I actually am reading from the transcript. I'm gonna go on tangents a lot, and it won't be that chronological. So, then they all zipline. There's a massive ziplining scene, and then they go to a completely opposite end of the earth, and then they all meet up again. It's quite funny. That is a funny joke. Oh my god, I'm fucking tired. Then they fight a giant robot and they win. Woo! And then there are more there and then there's more. Now, now, once they get back to Earth, Morty has another voiceover, and you already know my thoughts on voiceovers. But after that, he suggests to Rick to stop, and Summer gets very mad at Morty and pretty much says that Rick's word is law. Now this isn't bad on its own. We're gonna get to this. The problems aren't that bad as the episode begins, but they just pile on as the episode progresses. All right, so Rick invites 5 versions of the family to Earth. C-132, because if you remember, C-137 was obliterated, and C-132 in a reality where Rick and Morty died. Oh fuck, that's not the original Beth, Jerry, and Summer, god. Keep forgetting that. Alright, so they go with these variants of Rick. I don't know, I fucking watched Loki. Big Fat Rick, Ricardo Montoya, Hothead Rick, and Little Ricky Wrap It Up, and on standby is Yo-Yo Rick. And Yo-Yo Rick is on standby because Hothead Rick is hot-headed and attempts to ditch them, but Summer blows up the ferret that he was attempting to ditch them in, and that's relevant later. Then we have a bit of a montage. Now we have a bit of a montage. Each family forms a Gotron, and then those Gotrons form the Go-Gotron, which is a bigger Gotron. After that, yeah. So yeah. All right. So, all right. Morty is relegated to being the left foot by Rick, the left foot of the left foot by Rick, while Summer is promoted to the right arm. This is a display of nepotism on Rick's end. However, it's never really elaborated upon. At the end of the episode, the whole moral is the fact that Summer does too much of a job sucking up to Rick. Well, doesn't Morty do the exact same thing? Yes, Morty was not optimistic about it, but it really is quite unreasonable to assume that that Rick would just downgrade Morty to this extent, and I'll elaborate upon this when we hit the big bad. Like, there's a scene that is probably the worst scene in the show upcoming. But yeah, Morty is inexplicably shafted. Like, and when I say shafted, he's been shafted to Summer at times, but he is shafted hard here, much more than what's reasonable. Yeah. Yeah. Morty is then shafted again. Actually, Morty is then shafted again. He lost his ferret, and now he's an associate security chief. And he and here he gets to witness Summer realizing that she's in over her own head. Now, Summer realizing that she's in over her own head. Where does this go? Well, I've got news for you, buddies. Well, I've got news for you, because this point goes absolutely fucking nowhere. And how does it go nowhere? Well, Summer looks rather she looks rather nervous, yes. And Morty does say that she's in over her own head. But if that line did not exist, it would just show it, well, it would show that she's slightly nervous, yes, but it doesn't go anywhere. Summer doesn't quit of her own volition. She doesn't realize that she was too nervous. She only realizes this once Rick she only realizes this once Rick demotes her later on in the episode. Later on in the episode, it's not Summer. Summer didn't need this scene. She could have still realized. She could have still have come to the realization. Actually, no. Did she need this scene? I need to give this a bit of thought. Uh. Hmm. Well, how does that one scene play out? Yeah. Well, in that scene, Summer says that she was addicted to making Grandpa happy. However, this doesn't really seem like being addicted. It actually looks like a small bit of reluctance. You're attempting to showcase Summer being addicted to this, but yet you showcase her as reluctant at the same time. And it's never mentioned later on, but we're gonna get more into that, hopefully. I'm not sure. So, so, Morty leaves for some fresh air and he's approached by a fat anime guy. And then and then uh the anime guy says that he was the owner of the thing, the Gotron. It's like 11 o'clock right now. And that what Rick is doing is cultural appropriation. So, humor. This show, well, this episode is not fucking funny. It attempts to, well, actually, no, it's more an issue of this iteration of the show, at least from a surface level glance. Again, it is 11 o'clock. Everything I'm saying could be wrong. Everything I have said could be wrong as well, but essentially, the show tries way too hard to just fucking be like relatable. Like like no, like yeah, it's always been relevant, but here it's trying to be relatable, you know. It attempts fourth wall breaks, but these fourth wall breaks don't work in the same way that the originals did. I think the best way to showcase this is again in episodes 4 and 6 of the season, where a character just randomly says the message of the episode and then they do a thing that, you know, it subverts your expectations. Oh wow, expectations subverted. Turns out that that wasn't the message, haha. Or no, they do say it was the message, but it turns out that that being the message was the joke, haha. Like, no, it still completely eliminates subtlety. The cultural appropriation joke doesn't come across as, it just comes across as the show trying to be down with the kids, you know. It just comes across as pandering. It doesn't come across as genuine. It completely took me out of the episode. But again, despite this being an unscripted rage, a lot of these things are, since I'm too tired to do an objective analysis, a few of these things are just my opinion, and I think that it's kind of hard to glean where. I've completely forgotten. I've completely forgotten the past 15 minutes, but some parts are my opinion, some parts are objective, and it's up to you to figure out where, because I'm not putting any fucking thought into this video. Now, my voice, oh my fucking god. I recorded two takes of a. I recorded two takes of my big video. Not like the full takes, only like 25 minutes. But by God, those takes all ended up useless, and they fucked me. So, oh my God, there's probably like sirens in the background. Let's actually see if it picks up on this thing now. So, oh my God, it's loud. It's fucking loud as sin. I may need a bit more time. Holy shit, it's loud. Alright, so, back to the. This is just a fucking distraction. So back to the show comes across more as trying to be hip and cool with the kids than actually being, funny like the original. But again, I would need to elaborate on that, and it's 11 o'clock. My brain is not functioning. This isn't even a real unscripted rage, because I'm not angry. Because or at least I can't fake being angry, because my voice is just killed. So yeah, back to the episode. Hoo-wee, what happened? Now, they go back. So the anime people tell Morty that they want him to sabotage Rick, and Morty says, and Morty says, Morty still values his family, and he's not mad. Now this is in character with Morty. Congratulations. He is in character. This is the bare minimum. So then Morty kills the anime guys or something. I don't fucking know. Or I think he harms I don't know actually. So then he comes back because he was kidnapped, and Hothead Rick blows up the nightclub that Morty and I fucking called him Morty, Rick, and Summer were in. And then they all get mad at Morty because he was the security guy. And Morty just doesn't stick up for himself, Like, he gets interrupted when trying to say what happened, Like, hey, I got kidnapped. It's not my fault. Yeah. He just says nothing. And then when given the opportunity to speak, he just says, what have we become? Like, maybe wait until after, I don't know. And then, the fucking characters are just completely obliterated. Now, I'm gonna have to give these next few sections a closer look, and that means I gotta use my brain power this time. So, here we go. Beth. Jerry said, Jerry, I don't give a shit how power hungry the family are. They would never do this to Morty. Jerry says that he and Beth will hire people to break his knees. Beth then fucking disowns Morty and just gives him $16,000. Now, just fucking what? Yes, they are quite egotistical, but they wouldn't disown Morty for this shit. Did. I'm sorry, did episode 3 not end with Beth comforting Morty? Did aren't these people his fucking family who aren't these people his fucking family? Yes. This is not a believable conflict. If this were a part of their already established character that they do is that they go pretty much like they can be pretty much fucking abusive when they have heated gamer moments. If this were a previously established trait, then yes, this would be justified, but it is not. So then Summer in her ego trip, which can be believable which can be believable if yeah, Summer's ego trip is believable because of how she's acted around Morty in the past. So I'm fine with that. And it does make a lick of sense that she'd fire Beth and Jerry as well. So then Anime Girl comes and Rick fires Summer. Now, is there a problem with Rick firing Summer? Seriously, is there a problem? I haven't pieced it together yet. I'm so tired. I've been recording this shit for like 21 minutes now. Alright. Yeah, Rick fires Summer. Yeah, Rick has always. I don't think Rick ever did this because of family. I think he. Yeah, Rick never did this because of family. All Rick really cared about were the Go-Go-Trons. But this is its own issue in the future. Now, here is where the plot just derails. We cut back to the couch. Beth and Jerry walk into the house. Jerry says, "We're here to talk shit about your sister." Yes, this does make sense. They can grumble, right? Beth calls Summer an arrogant little bitch. Alright, yeah, Beth has been kind of mean to her kids before. Yes. Jerry then says, "Should we clip her?" And then, the parents, Summer's own fucking parents, debate killing Summer. Now, yes, Rick and Morty is a comedy show, and this is supposed to make you laugh. However, despite the fact that Rick and Morty is quite the absurdist comedy, probably one of the most grounded elements is the family. Some of the best stories of Rick and Morty are when the family is grounded. Even in episodes where they are actively involved with the conflict. For instance, the wedding episode. They are involved with all the space drama. But yet they are still characters. Their characters do not change. This may seem like a harmless joke, but it absolutely breaks the characters in order to do it. The characters are uncharacteristically violent and sadistic. Yes, these characters can grumble about these things, but this is too far. Again, if this were an established part of their character, it would be completely fine. But this is not a proper method to introduce it. And how is it not a proper method of introduction? Well, it is not a proper method of introduction because, the show just the show doesn't really draw any attention to it. It just treats it like it's normal. If you're going to introduce a new, radically different trait, you actually need to draw attention to it instead of playing it off as normal. And the reason why they are playing it off as normal is because it's a joke. It is a joke. Summer walks in, and then she says Rick fired me. And then the family, who have been debating killing her and killing themselves so they could kill her in hell. Hey, wasn't there an episode that was in hell? Why not just take the portal and go to hell? Like, don't you have the cube? Or... Yeah, just go to fucking hell, man. Yeah, just go to hell, and then why do you need to kill yourself? And what can you do, my effeminate fellow? I can suck your dick. No, who fucking cares? So Summer comes in and says, Rick fired me. And then Summer says, I got addicted to making Grandpa happy. Now, we already talked about how, yes, it does do a good job at showing this, but this one scene of Summer faltering goes absolutely nowhere. It's not Summer that decides to leave. She doesn't falter because she wants. She doesn't leave because she has an epiphany. She has that epiphany because she was forced out. This is not character progression. This is not her progression. It is Rick forcing the progression onto her. I don't fucking know. They had a setup. They had a payoff. They just needed something, anything, to show, like, more scenes of Summer faltering instead of Rick just firing her. This is not an arc. It is the skin of an arc. You could have done a really good story about Summer, Rick, and Morty, because I have been really interested in the power dynamic. However, not only does... Actually, no. Go back to the beginning of the episode. Morty specifically says, it says something new is going on. Like, no, this isn't new. This is not new. It is something that is consistent with their character. Nah, this dynamic between Summer, Rick, and Morty has always been consistent. Rick seemingly favoring Summer over Morty. It's always been consistent, but it's just never addressed here. Again, they had the seeds for something really good, but they just didn't do that. Now, Summer then mentions the incest baby. Oh, fuck hell. Apparently, the government off-screen captured the incest baby. And Summer... And it's like this really absurdist thing where, like, Summer gets kidnapped, and then she gets to the Pentagon, and then she goes to Mars, and then oh my god. So that's why they were referencing the incest baby. I'm sorry, but like, this is the only real episode where continuity is this blatant, and so it was kind of obvious. Like, by God, you actually could have, made the continuity way less in your face. Like, yes, it is a setup, but this is legit the only episode that mentions this, and I don't know, it does do a good job. I don't know, but like saying, as you know, we did do a giant incest baby. Like, yeah, I find that way less surprising than, you know, that this is the first time they mention the child. That would be quite interesting, But then again, that would be quite interesting. Like, oh man, there's continuity here, and I don't fucking know. Look, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just really tired. But yeah. Essentially, oh my god, the government doesn't want anyone to know what happened, but once it does, all the family will have is each other. They don't really mention what will happen. They don't mention that will the government attack them. Didn't didn't they already resolve this? Didn't they already, all the family have is each other? Didn't they resolve that? And Summer felt that she was the odd one out. And Summer is the odd one out, so she wanted to make sure that she had Rick instead of Morty. But we forget the fact that throughout the entire fucking show, Rick has shown favor towards Summer over Morty. Rick brings Morty along more, but he actually favors Summer more. And the episode just pretends that this right here is just brand new. And that's bad writing. Now, now, Summer then cries and says funny words like Summer says while crying, "My giant tortured government trained rogue incest monster baby out there and spit," like, good god, not funny. Didn't laugh. So then she also mentions the anime girl, and then Morty's like, "Oh fuck, an anime girl. We already had that." And then so we cut to Rick, anime girl punch that sabotages the robot. Then they go to Rick and they fight him. But the family the family harnesses the incest baby because they show that even that we are still a family. And then the anime girl asks, "Why do you have an incest baby?" And Rick says, "Welcome to the Smith family." I guess that I think that would be a more triumphant line from the character that didn't lose, that they weren't trying to save from losing his way. Like from any other character, I think that would be good. But dude, they you weren't part of the family, and then you only you've been you're back a part of the family because they say they bailed you out. I don't know. That point right there is probably my flimsiest. Again, it's 11 o'clock right now. I'm just getting my thoughts out because I really wanted to talk about it. So then they save him, and then as a part of fucking continuity, it's all like, oh yeah, and then those big monsters we fought, oh yeah, and then those robots, we don't care about them, and we're never gonna mention them again because they're for kids. That was what Rick said. Not That's not what the show said. It's not that fucking stupid. They have a pretty funny joke about the giant monsters, killing millions every day. But then it's just fucking contradicted by the fact that the after credits scene says that the evil big monsters were friendly and were just trying to cure AIDS. So why do millions die every day, Morty, if they're just friendly and are going to kill AIDS and they're the victims because the government fights them? Who fucking cares anymore? And then the voiceover stops because there are actually aliens living in Morty and Summer's heads. Yeah, no plot, no plot. The voiceover was just no plot. It didn't have any bearing on the plot. The voiceover was just there for a cheap gag and to suck out all subtlety of the show. All right, that's credits. Let's end. What an unmitigated disaster. Rick and Morty has been falling hard these past few. Uh, but this right here, that one scene that I just talked about, the one with Morty, Summer, Beth, and Jerry in the house after being fired, is actively one of the worst things that the show. No, it is the worst thing the show has ever made, and I cannot wait to talk about it in more detail. The episode is not funny. It tries to be relevant and fails. The characters are actually broken. They are broken in this for the sake of the plot. They are sadistic, selfish assholes who will contemplate murdering one child and who will contemplate what murdering one child for sake of a joke and disown another child for the sake of the plot. The plot the plot has to break these characters in order to work. Character is the heart of Rick and Morty, and they have absolutely ruined it. And what's worse, they Rick and Morty rarely has continuity. There are continuity episodes. There are continuity focused episodes, but a lot of it is just serialized. But for some fucking reason, this episode right here was the one where the writer said, "Hey, let's bring back something a plot point from a previous episode." Could have been any fucking episode. It could have been fucking Planetina. That would have been cool. It could have been Mr. Nimbus. That would be cool, but no. We had to bring back the giant incest baby. What a fucking mess. So now in context of the show, season 5 has had a 4-episode long bad streak. And my god, am I worried for the future. However, here's the thing. This episode, and even though I've been going for like 36 minutes, this episode has a lot more issues that I didn't cover. Going from memory, and it's 11 o'clock, and I'm fucking tired. It has so many issues that I actually think that Matt Pat and also people defending the show from like Jay are correct when they say that this is actually evil Morty's origin story, and that's why the characters are so out of whack. Rick and Morty has always had rather intelligent writing, and there are so many just character destructions that it just can't be fucking real. They can't be this incompetent. The characters are, it's an absolute disaster, and I genuinely think it would make sense that this is intentional. If it is, I will release a short thing if when the finale comes out, pretty much congratulating the show for epically subverting my expectations. But until then, I am fucking done. If the future episodes are just on par or worse, I will make more of these. But until then, I gotta get back to. Oh my god, my voice is probably destroyed. I gotta get back to making that 4-hour video. Subscribe to my main channel, link is in the description. I'm fucking done. Bye.